Welcome to Exploring Expressions, some short, sharp videos all about expressions, the low-code formulas that we have for data manipulation in Power Automate. Today we're going to carry on looking at our string expressions, and we are going to look at substring, which means that I'm going to take a portion of a longer string and extract what I want from it. Here I've got a string which is in a compose action. I could use other actions to get the data, but for simplicity I'm using composes, and all it says is I want to truncate this string. Now I want to only extract, I'm going to extract the first three words. To do this, I'm going to use the expression substring. So I'm going to come down to my result, I'm going to come to my inputs and select insert expression to bring up my expression editor box. I can either do one of two things now. I can type in substring, and as you can see, it starts to find it in the IntelliSense. Or if I come to my string functions in the selector and come to see more, then I have substring here. This is quite useful because this tells me what it is that it wants me to give it. It wants me to provide some text, i.e. a string that it wants me to that I want to manipulate, the start index, so where does the manipulation start, and the length, how far do we actually go. So let's go and pop that in. Okay, and I'm just going to press and add there for a moment because I need a couple of different things. First of all, I need to understand what the index is. If I come back to my compose string 1 for the moment, the string that I want to manipulate, the index is where the manipulation starts, and it starts with 0. So the letter I here is index 0. The space is index 1, 1 to index 2, and so on. So the first thing I need to know is where do I want this to start? Now, for the purpose of simplicity, I'm going to start at index 0. So I'm going to start right at the very beginning. I then need to count the number of characters that I want to extract out. So in this case, I want to go to the end of the O. So let's count them. This time it starts from 1, not 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the length is going to be 9. The index is going to be 0 because I want it to start right at the beginning. So let's come back to my expression. Let's just bring up the values again. So what do I need? I need to give it some text. So let's go and select the dynamic content. Let's go and select my string 1. I'm going to separate out my parameters with a comma. Now this may change depending on your geographic location or your geographic settings. What is the start index? In this case, it's going to be 0. And then finally, what is the length? How far are we going to go? I'm going to go 9 characters. Let's press update on there. Now let's save it and run it. Okay, so now we've got my original compose, which was I wanted to truncate this text. And then when I come to my result, it just says I want to, because I used the substring. I started at index 0. I counted 9 characters in, which brought me to the end of the O. I hope that was a useful example of substring and how it can be used. We'll revisit this later on when we start to look at how we combine or nest expressions together to make the manipulations even more powerful. But for now, I'll leave that with you. Go and have a play, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.